Shalom, this is a big back with a quick edification. I want to thank all of my subscribers, and I want to wish all of my subscribers high health and high spirits. And I want to wish all of my subscribers are safe and protected against these agendas that are waged against us here behind enemy lines here in America. This woman, D.L. Hughley's daughter, she just embarrassed her husband. Now, I'm not sure if her husband has saw how she recently went viral for giving her own testimony as far as her own anecdotal experiences before she married him, right? And I wanted to do a quick video on her. She reminds me of what's that girl's name? What's that girl's name? Not Amber Rose, but damn, I'm gonna get her name before the video is over. I'm gonna get her name in a minute. But she was giving her personal anecdotal testimony about being ran through before she got married. Brittany Renner. That's who this woman reminds me of. Just a whore, right? And I think Brittany Renner was claiming to be Islamic for about 5 seconds. And this woman went on this whole rant and ended up going viral, speaking of her past before she was married. And I guess the men have pointed out their logic, and salute to the men. And then the Western black females are, of course, defending this woman's behavior or past behavior and her personal or her present relationship, or her choice of relationship, rather, because they're only defending her. They're pretty much pointing out how they try to choose to be, or try to choose and try to upgrade later after their past of being whores, right? The Western female doesn't value virginity. She doesn't view virginity the way righteous men do and productive men do, right? Here in Babylon, these females, more than likely, they're not going to be virgins once they settle down and end up with someone past their early 20s and stuff like that. These females are already losing their virginities in their teens, right? So I wanted to, when I heard this story, when I heard her speaking, I started to think to myself, you know what the Western female's main problem is? These daughters of Babylon, these females, their problem is they're not wives, right? They're not wives. I know I say it a million times. The movie Coming to America, it just highlighted the flawed femininity, the toxic femininity here behind enemy lines here in America. Prince Akeem was a simp. He was not supposed to be looking for a wife here in America, here in Babylon, because his father knew the culture in the West and the females in the West are just straight trash, right? The values are just straight trash. This woman embarrassed her husband, right? And the females, of course, they're just not wives. And when they speak, when these Western black females speak, they make no sense. They make no sense, right? So what I thought about was Ephesians 5, and I'm not going to read all of it, but it reads this: Ephesians 5:1. And these holy scriptures are meant, or there are no wives here in Babylon, here behind enemy lines here in America. There could be a few, right? Of course, but for the most part, we're going to have to wait to the kingdom to have wives, right? It says, "Be ye therefore followers of God as dear children, and walk in love as Yahushua Hamashiach also have loved us and have given himself us an offering and a sacrifice to Yahweh for a sweet smelling savor," right? "But fornication and all uncleanliness or covetousness, let it not be once named among you," right? And this woman went on a rant, a story. She told this extensive story about her past sexual encounters before she was married. Just an embarrassment. And D.L. Hughley, to me he's another sucker here in America, here behind enemy lines. So I don't expect him to, defend masculinity and righteousness. But nevertheless, it says, "Or covetousness, let it not be once named among you, as becometh saints," right? That's for the men, right? Only thing us hopeful elect have to do over here is practice this righteous rehearsal to the best of our ability and let Esau's rulership play itself out till his time be fulfilled to the end of this current world, all right? There is no ending the rulership of the Edomites before the end of the world, all right? His blessing is going to ride out to the end of this world, all right? But back to Eve, right? Back to this Eve, all right? I nickname Eve Pookeisha, since there's Pookie and Ray Ray, the males, and then you have Pookeisha. So if you hear me say Pookeisha or Eve, I'll use them interchangeably. But I'm talking about the Western black female, all right? She's a complete idiot. So it says neither filthiness nor foolish talking, right? Nor foolish talking. And she was talking like a straight fool. Even the females that defended her, they were also speaking as fools, okay? It says foolish talking nor jesting, right? Joking around, right? And that's what these Pookeishas tend to do when they start clucking like some chickens and just talking too much, right? They think it's funny to embarrass their husbands. It says, which are not convenient, right? But rather giving of thanks, right? And again, they're looking for simps, and they'll thank whatever God they serve for simps. Because if it wasn't for simps, they would have no options. right? The righteous men have already discerned these females and have already unsubscribed and removed themselves from the ways of this world, right? So the men of the Lord, the hopeful elect, or righteous men, because the average Jake is starting to catch on, and he's late, but they're starting to catch on, and these females really don't have the options that they think they have. So if they catch them one of these simps, or like this D.L. Hughley's daughter said, she has a pediatrician, a nerd, as they call these men. They call them nerds, which is a backhanded compliment. But the nerds always end up with these used up whores, and then these Pukishas expect these nerds to feel lucky when they've already given themselves to, Pookie and Ray Ray, right? Already been ran through. So same thing with Coming to America. His wife wasn't a virgin. She really wasn't a wife. And these Western females are not wives. The title of this video is going to be They Are Not Wives. All right? They're not wives. The so-called black female here behind enemy lines here in America is not a wife. Okay? For this, it says, for this ye know that no whoremonger, nor unclean person, nor covetous man who is an idolater hath any inheritance in the kingdom of Yahweh Shai Hamashiach and of Yahweh, right? The power. Let no man deceive you with vain words, like these females telling their anecdotal testimonies of getting ran through, right, before they ended up with a simp, right? This is why it takes them so long to really get married, because they really don't have the options. The options that they really don't want them, because they've been ran through, and they don't value virginity. They don't value covenant. And again, they're just doing what they want to do and leaning on their own understanding, which is vain, right? Let no man deceive you with vain words, for because of these things cometh the wrath of Yahweh the power upon the children of disobedience. Be not ye therefore partakers with them, right? And that's like the righteous men. They discern these females, and they pretty much unsubscribe from the ways of these females, and that leaves her with one less option, right? Be not ye therefore partakers with them, for ye were sometimes darkness, but now are ye light in the Lord, right? So once the righteous men have dedicated themselves to being righteous, even here behind enemy lines here in America, that becomes the first purpose of us hopeful elect men, is to increase our fortune, which we can only increase our fortune through the Spirit of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. It says, but now are ye light in the Lord. Walk as children of the light. Salakia, walk as children of light, for the fruit of the Spirit is in all goodness and righteousness and truth, okay? Proving what is acceptable unto the Lord, and have no fellowship with the unfruitful works of darkness, but rather reprove them, right? And I see a divorce in her future. I mean, she just embarrassed the hell out of her husband. And I seen her husband. He looks like he's it's, I don't know, I got to do some research on him, but he looks like he's I'm not sure if, like I said, I'm not sure what his father is, but he looks like his father could be white. His mother could be maybe, I don't know, Puerto Rican or something. But I see a divorce coming in her future, because she's not a wife. right? That's about as simple as I can put it without taking some different angle, like her past doesn't matter or the double standard of women. They'd like to use this double standard about having multiple lovers. And then when the men have multiple wives, right? That's the difference. Where we actually subscribe to multiple wives, while these Pukishas subscribe to just multiple men that they want, right? They subscribe to multiple good times, not multiple long times, right? So they're just whores at the end of the day. They're just whores. They're not wives, right? And that's why they have less options, because men view women that have multiple lovers different than a man that has multiple wives, or even a man that has sex with a lot of females. They're just viewed different, right? The women are getting ran through, the men are not getting ran through. And our value doesn't decrease by having multiple lovers either, right? That's the double standard. Long as the men don't burn themselves out by being used, right, and exhausted by being a simp or a sucker, right, to these Western females or just females in general, right? So that's the double standard. And the Western female, she doesn't even consider the logic of men, right? Because she's continuously having this disdain for men in particular. Most of these Western females have nothing positive to say about Western men. They don't find men intelligent unless the men are simps. They don't find the men to be smart unless the men are simps and suckers and allowing themselves to be used by a useless female, right? And most of these females are useless, and they're not wives, right? That's the silver lining in the conversations between men and these Western females here behind enemy lines here in America. And it's not just here behind enemy lines here in America, it's wherever they are, whether it's in other countries as well. The Pukishas have the same hive mind, and they have the same options as well, right? And then they brag about finding an option later in life, as if to say that those men that they used to have sex with in their prime, they say that they would never choose to be with those men that they gave themselves to when they were younger. Well, those men have already had you when you were in your prime. So the way Pookie and Ray Ray think, if they've already knocked your boots, then they don't really care whether they can't knock your boots later in life when you got your degrees and stuff, and you think you know every damn thing, right? So the Western female, she's just striking out with options, all right? And the Most High said that he's going to cut off their lovers, right? In Job, right? So, or there's a Slakia in Hosea, right? So let's go here, and it says, "For it is a shame even to speak of those things," and it is a shame that she spoke of those things that she did before her marriage, and made it as if having a husband that's a pediatrician, that pretty much, she said he built the fire in the back, and she's drinking on her alcohol, and pretty much living off of him, right? So they feel lucky when they find a simp, right, that doesn't view them the way righteous men view them, right? So that's why they don't have a lot of options, because even the righteous men they desire. But the righteous men, again, like I said, they have discerned these females to be useless and whores, and most of all, not wives, right? So it says, "For it is a shame even to speak of those things which are done of them in secret." Why would you want to get on the internet and go viral for embarrassing your husband, talking about your past your past whoredoms, right? That's what it is. And then it says, but all things that are reproved are made manifest by the light, right? For whatsoever doth make manifest is light. And they can't handle being reproved and criticized and pretty much judged, right? In righteousness. These females are going to have a rude awakening, right? When they finally meet the Lord and he exposes their whoredoms, because that's all they have, man. These females are selfish when it comes to education. They're selfish when it comes to accomplishments. She was literally sitting in this house that her husband, provided. And this is the way you thank him, by giving your personal testimonies of you being a whore, right? I mean, damn, the men who take these women serious and try to treat them like wives, they don't even get virgins. They get these females that can't stay off the internet, can't stop seeking attention from strangers. You know, this damn social media, this audience full of strangers, right? This is how you thank your husband, by embarrassing him with your whorish testimony, right? It says, wherefore he saith, awake thou that sleepeth, and arise from the dead, and Yahweh Shai Hamashiach shall give thee light. And I hope this guy, she called, they talk about these guys being nerds. Hey, nerds know how to file for divorce too. Nerds know how to file for divorce too. All right. And I see a divorce. I see a divorce in your future. Brittany Renner look-alike. All of these little Brittany Renner looking chicks, they're just whores, man. She looks just like that chick, just a whore. You know what I mean? They're not wives, man. She look like a jump off. She could put on a tight dress, a mini skirt, and her body is showing, and she's a complete jump off, man. She's a good time, not a long time. That's what she is, right? It says, see then that ye walk circumspectly, not as fools, man. I'm telling you, man. These females, man, I said it in my previous videos before, protecting these females here in the West, defending these females in the West, right, will be at the expense of men and children. They have no respect for men, and they're not even wives. See then that ye walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise, redeeming the time, because the days are evil, man. Right? Here in Babylon, here behind enemy lines, here in America, this place is complete evil. The Bible allows us hopeful elect to sit back and watch Esau's rulership continue to be a big old bowl of vomit. Right? It's like watching a movie and watching all these Gentiles live it up. Right? Live it up, because your time is short. Your women are out of control. Your children don't stand a chance. You have all of these agendas that are still playing out from the past to the present, right? So the heathens, they better live it up now, man. All right, you got the Elemental P agenda. You have this big old episode of Scooby-Doo being pulled off by Esau Edom, continuously lying to the American citizens, not telling the truth about what's really taking place overseas with these Persians. And then and then you have just, Babylon is just constantly separating parents from their children, right? Bad decisions are being made in a spirit of paganism, right? And superstition, right? So this place has to take its course. And the ways of the heathens are going to destroy a lot of these civilians, right? And a lot of these jakes are going to be destroyed They're going to be brought. They're going to be destroyed for dealing with these females. You know, these females are going to be the death of a lot of these Jakes over here, right? So the men of the Lord are just sitting back with wisdom and just watching this show. You know what I'm saying? Watching the time of the Gentiles be fulfilled, right? Our reparations will be our salvation, right? World War III, the end of Esau's rulership, is what the men of the Lord are watching happen. She just embarrassed her husband. This woman just embarrassed her husband. She's not a wife. That's the best way I can put it. It says, see then that ye circumspectly, Salakia, see then that ye walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise, right? These simps, man, these females going to be the death of these simps. Being foolish is going to be the death of use of everybody, the simps and these Pukishas, right? Redeeming the time because the days are evil. Wherefore be ye not unwise, but understanding what the will of the Lord is. So again, Jake, the hopeful elect, the men of the Lord, our only purpose is to increase our fortune, continue to rehearse this righteous act, right? Be wise, right? And have understanding, right? Wherefore be ye not unwise, but understanding what the will of the Lord is, and be not drunk with wine, right? And the wine is just the ways of the world, man. Same thing that happened in Genesis 3 with the serpent introducing this, you know, this worldly wine to Eve, and she introduced it to Adam, right? And we fail because we're watching and witnessing the ways of the heathen, right? And we're not supposed to partake in the ways of the heathen. It says, wherein is excess, but be filled with the Spirit, right? And that's what I wake up and pray, that I still have the Spirit's favor, right? That I'm in favor of the Spirit, so that I can still see that this is Esau's current rulership, and mankind and womankind have destroyed themselves with sin, right? And just not being amongst the hopeful elect, the men, women, and children. So we get to witness these examples of what not to be like, dealing with Esau, Edom, and Babylon, and the ways of the heathen, right? It says, speaking to yourselves in psalms and hymns and spiritual songs, singing and making melody in your heart to the Lord. But let's go back up. My favorite verse in this is Ephesians 5:12. For it is a shame, even let's go here. Let's go and have no fellowship with the unfruitful works of darkness, but rather reprove them. For it is a shame even to speak of those things which are done of them in secret. And this woman just told all her little secrets about of being a whore. The world didn't even have to know that. So she's for the streets, man. These females have no options. They really want righteous men that are wise in spirit, but they can't. They're unfit for these righteous men. This is why Prince Akeem in Coming to America wanted to renounce his throne. Oh, I'm gonna renounce my throne. I know I keep talking about that movie, but that movie was so spot on, man. That movie was so spot on, man. Let me see if I can get that. That movie was so spot on, man. This is the scene that I keep going back to, man.
It's time for
Fair
a
use,
new
fair
kind of
use.
value menu.
All right.
Hello, Panera's new mix and match menu. Just $4.99 each when you
This is pretty much all the Western women right here. You know, she knows she's not a wife. She says it. But Prince Akeem, here comes the simp. This is what most Western men are doing. Most Western males are doing. Trying to chase behind these females that are not wives, man. At least this woman is smart. She's not a wife. Listen.
Lisa, please. I did not mean to hurt you.
Well, at least I know who gave me these. Well, you can keep them, because I don't want them, and I don't want you.
She's smart. He's not smart. He don't know how to walk away and go back to his land. He wants to. He's chasing a woman that's not a virgin.
Lisa. Lisa.
Look, just leave me alone.
Lisa, please. I love you.
What about the woman you're supposed to marry?
I do not love her. Why do you think I came to America?
Oh, your father told me to sow your royal oats.
Oh, no.
See, now listen. These females are all over America having a good time, not a long time. They're having a good time for a long time, right? Some of these females are trying to look for a husband after years of being a whore. She's not a virgin, right? She's not a virgin. She was with Soul Glow, right? The guy that was driving the Firebird or the Thunderbird, whatever, taking her to work, right? He was a simp, all right? He's the good guy, the one with the Jerry curl. Soul Glow is the good guy, right? He's the guy that they end up marrying after, right? After. Pretty much, Prince Akeem is a simp, just like the Jerry curl guy was a simp, right? They're all simps. These females end up with simps. Simps, the male simps, and the elemental P female simps. Those are their options here in America. If they can't get a righteous man that earns, you know, high value income or whatever, they try to go after the income thing. It's a double standard, right? She accused Prince Akeem of, what about the woman, or, you know, what about what your father said about you coming over soiling your royal oats? Well, soiling his royal oats is equivalent, is the same as her not being a virgin, right? Because all he has to do is just say, I want to marry a virgin because that's going to be my, that'll be my opportunity to, you know, break her in, like biblically break her in, and he'll have first dibs, right? And she's in her prime. The woman back in this country jumping up on one leg, she's in her prime. She's like in her early 20s, right? And she's a virgin. But he's over here in America going against the agreement that he had with his father, chasing behind this American, Babylonian, Western Pukisha, who's not a virgin, and he's ready to renounce his throne. The only options that these women have over here in America is simps. The righteous men have already discerned them. They're no good. They're not wives. That's the perfect, priceless reason to avoid these females. They're not wives, okay? And they know they're not wives, but they'll still settle for whatever fool, because the scriptures tell us not to be fools, okay? It tells us not to be fools, okay? And Ephesians 5:15. See then that ye walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise, redeeming the time because the days are evil. The days are evil right now. We're in the rulership of Esau, Edom, where these females, they have their own prerogative. They have their own program, and they don't value virginity, and they don't value giving themselves to one man. Right? I said that before in previous videos. They can't keep one man happy, like not even happy, but fulfilled. Right? They can't even fulfill one man. Right? Let's go.
Lisa,
Look, just leave me alone.
Lisa, please. I love you.
What about the woman you're supposed to marry?
I do not love her. Why do you think I came to America?
Oh, your father told me to sow your royal oats.
Oh no. I came to America to find my bride. I came.
Let's go back. He's not here to find a wife. He's here for a good time, not a long time. And my thing is, the Western female, she can't handle a man that's here for a good time and not a long time either. So again, it shows you where the heart is, where the mind is with these females, all right? They can't handle a man that is on the same time that they're on, right? They actually try to manipulate a man that's on the same time into marrying them. They're not wives. They're just whores. Let's go.
Lisa, please. I love you.
What about the woman you're supposed to marry?
I do not love her. Why do you think I came to America?
Oh, your father told me to sow your royal oats.
See, he's a fool. He said, I do not love her. Why do you think I came to America? He's a fool, right? He's a fool, man. Just a dummy, man. Righteous men of the Lord, we would kill for want to have a virgin that's over in his country. We would kill for one of those women if we could just get one, because she's just virtuous, right?
Oh no. I came to America to find my bride. I came to.
He's lying. Look at him. He's a simp. He's lying. Look.
So why did you...
I do not love her. Why do you think I came to America?
Oh, your father told me to sow your royal oats.
Oh no. I came to America to find my bride. I came to Queens to find you.
So why did you lie to me then? Why didn't you just tell me you were Prince?
See that? Hey, man, she's out of her league, man. Righteous men over here in America are not fools like Prince Akeem. We know that these females are underqualified to really live up to what's required of them, all right? If they're not amongst the hopeful elect women, right, the Akwaf, then you have to be a fool to even to switch to give up the ghost just to be with these females over here, man. It's not that serious, man. All right, these females are an embarrassment, man. Salakia, let's keep going.
I do not love her. Why do you think I came to America?
Oh, your father told me to sow your royal oats.
Oh no. I came to America to find my bride. I came to Queens to find you.
So why did you lie to me then? Why didn't you just tell me you were Prince?
Why would you wanna be? Why would see? This is what the simps do. I'm here for you, man. He really does not want to be like a righteous man. He really doesn't want to serve his purpose. He really doesn't want to stick to his call of duty. He's ready to give it all up for a woman that's not even groomed from birth to be his wife. He's ready to give it all up, man. I would go right back. See, Arsenio Hall was mad at Prince Akeem for not wanting to go back home, for not wanting to go back to their birthright, right? That's what I didn't like about Prince Akeem. He's running from his birthright, right? The only person I seen run from their birthright was Esau Edom. He sold his birthright for a pot of lentils, right? Pot of lentil soup, right? Jake, the so-called black man, he has to be a complete fucking fool to want to give up his birthright and to not want to be with a virgin where he can plant his seed. She's groomed to be his wife. She's virtuous just to be with a daughter of Babylon, these Pukishas. A fucking fool, man. And part 2 coming to America was, I couldn't even make it through it. I didn't even get past the part where he was sitting on the throne and this woman here, this Pukisha, told him that we all have secrets. And she told him that she wasn't a virgin. She pretty much was insinuating that she's not a virgin, as if he didn't know that like he didn't think she had sex with Soul Glow, right? Look.
Because I wanted you to love me for who I am.
I'm not sure who you are.
I'm the man you fell in love with. Should it matter that I'm a prince?
It shouldn't, but I...
Just tell me you didn't love me when you thought I was a goat herder.
Now watch this.
And I will
Watch what
never
she
bother you
said.
again.
It just wouldn't work out. We're too different. You're royalty, for God's sake.
Boom. There it is. And look, man, listen. I would not look. She's smart. I gotta give her salute to her for not being like these Pukishas over here who wants Jake, the so-called black man, to be a fucking fool, man. She's putting him in his place, and he don't want his birthright, man. Go home, Akeem. And man, he's such a stupid ass dude, man. This movie, when I saw this back in the 80s, man, I was born in 1980, right? This dude is a fucking idiot. When I saw this growing up, this movie pissed me off because this stupid ass dude is running from his birthright. Go home. You have beautiful virgins in your country, man. Why do you want these Pukishas over here that we're wishing that this place, Babylon, America, will be destroyed so we can go home, where we can choose our wives, right? This dude, look at him. He's like dumbfounded. She know who you are. She see that you're royalty. She's not fit to be with you. Go home, man. Listen, man. I can't. This movie pisses me off. I can't even continue to edify with this movie, man. The movie pisses me off. Listen, man. Ephesians 5:15. See then that ye walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise, redeeming the time, because the days are evil, man. Wherefore be ye not unwise, but understanding what the will of the Lord, Yahweh the power is, man. Stay on your purpose, Jake. Leave this place alone, right? For real, man. This idiot right here, this old Brittany Renner looking chick, she's a fucking idiot too. She embarrassed her husband. They're not wives, man. They're not wives, man. Hopefully somebody's been edified, man. The Western females are not wives, man. And they know they're not wives. They know they can't get with us, man. They can't get with us, man. We're royalty, man. She's smart. I actually can give her flowers for being smart. She's walking away. She's not trying to deal with it. And the Western female over here in America, they will like tell a dude you're different, you're different. The word, because different for them is a deal breaker. You're different. A righteous man to one of these Western Pukishas, one of these Western females, I'm not even their type. All right, I'm not a simp. Okay, we're royalty, man. Okay, we're royalty, y'all. For real. Go home, Prince Akeem, you freaking simp. The only options that these females here in America have are simps in the form of a elemental P female, right, trying to look like a YN with her Jordans, her pants sagging, her tight jeans, skinny jeans, her hoodies, her little, her little shiesty mask. You know, they try to look like males, right? Because those are the options of these Pukishas. Now, if they don't end up being with another woman, right, which is one of those little simp elemental P females, then they'll try to upgrade and get one of these pediatricians like this damn Brittany Renner stupid looking broad did. And those are their options. The righteous men have already stepped off. The Pookie and Ray Rays have already ran through them, right? Listen, some brothers know how to stay on prophecy. Some brothers, we all have different gifts, all right? I can discern, okay? So some brothers can speak fluent Hebrew. All of the men of the Lord, the hopeful elect, have different gifts. You know, my thing is I just discern, all right? I'm not the best Israelite to speak Hebrew or to go into these different areas of study. But one thing that I do understand is that I'm a Hebrew Israelite, and I do realize we're in Babylon, and Esau, Edom, his rulership is going to play out to the end. All right, there's nothing that can stop his rulership early, except for Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shah, and prophecy is already for us to watch this time of the Gentiles be fulfilled play out, right? I call it a big old episode of Scooby-Doo because Esau and Amalek, they have the people of Babylon fooled and hypnotized, right, with lies and deception, right? And each different tribe of Esau, Edom is taking their turn, not trying to speed up prophecy. But it's already written what's going to take place between Esau and his allies, right? So, but this Pukisha, she's going to be the death of a lot of Jakes. And the only options they have are homosexuality and simps, right? If there's a man that takes them seriously, that needs to wake up and snap out of it, hopefully he don't crash out when he find out that these Western females are not on code with the Most High. They're actually on code with Babylon, right? They're useless to the men of the Lord, right? These females are useless, man, to the men of the Lord. Only a fool would take these females serious as wives. They're not wives, right? She told this dude she pretty much told him, I can't be your wife. I don't know how to be your wife. I wasn't brought up to be with a prince. She was brought up to be with Soul Glow, man. He should have left her where she was at, man. At that damn McDowell's, getting dropped off by the simp with the damn Jerry curl, man. All right? Leave these females alone, man. That's why I'm like, damn, Jake. I never thought his weakness would be these females. These females are going to be Jake's downfall.
I'm the man you fell in love with. Should it matter that I'm a prince?
Yes. See, he ready to renounce his throne. Look, she looking at him like, because he's sitting here ready to stoop down to her. Man, I can't watch this. I can't. This has been a beat. Hopefully somebody's been edified. All right, I want to thank all of my subscribers. I want to wish all of my subscribers high health and high spirits. I want to wish all of my subscribers are safe and protected against these agendas that are waged against us here behind enemy lines, here in America. Shalom. She's not a wife. She's not a wife. She just embarrassed her husband. She's not a wife.